Hey everyone, it is Sunday, December 10th, 2017, and it's time to go to work on music. It's been a very, very good day so far. I'm in a really good place and excited for a productive session. Getting a little bit of a late start on today's session by choice because just last night and this morning I started feeling a little off physically, and I could tell I was fighting off I was fighting off something. So I just decided to sleep an extra like hour and a half, and I think I knocked it out. And what I've realized is it's hard to take that hit the day of, but that hour and a half of just a little bit more sleep saves me like 8 hours or 16 hours of 2 days being sick and being unproductive and just like, being totally miserable. So let me know if you guys have thoughts on that, but that's my system is just, once you get hit with that, you just try to hit the recovery road as hard as possible and just get better as quickly as possible. So I think I still got like about 5, 6 hours ahead of me here. So I'm going to make hay while the sun shines. Going to hit the online class front, update you guys with what I'm doing there. Going to hit a quick guitar practice and share my progress. And then dive into the production front, going to knock out the second verse drum parts for this tune I'm working on, and then possibly start on the second chorus, and then I'm gonna just dive into the new tune, which I'm really excited about having fun with that so far, and just start to flesh that out with some of the ideas I've been brainstorming the last couple days. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always, and I'll talk to you guys in a few. All right, excellent first half of the day. Got it on the online class front. Move forward with the Q&A session. Mostly just talking about email list building and the importance and virtues of that. And it's totally fine to develop your social media platform that you want to do and your email list simultaneously. But as far as I know, the best move is to try to build up at least like 2 or 3 thousand followers or likes or whatever platform you're on, subscribers before you go too deep on the email list front. But I'm not sure about that. There's probably an exception for every rule in that sphere. So that's just kind of what I've been told. From there, I jumped into a quick guitar practice and just was working on this drop D riff from the Musicism online class. It's really finally coming together. I've been chipping away, chipping away, chipping away for a long time now, and I'm really happy with that. I started improvising a little bit with it, which is a good step forward, and then increasing the speed to just keep the challenge going and keep the skills growing. And then took a short break, did some reading out of the Mixing with Secrets for the Small Studio book, mostly just talking about the importance of room treatment again. Then I was, oh, and the big tip there is with acoustic foam, don't go too cheap on that, because if it's 5 centimeters or less thick, then it doesn't do quite as good of a job as like a 10 centimeter foam. So sometimes like a little less higher quality foam will do better than just like some crappy, you know, cheap foam. And I think that's a place where my studio can grow, because my studio foam is like 5 centimeters thick, and so I think that's the next step for me. I'm going to invest in some thicker foam and rewire the place a little bit. From there, I jumped into the production front and just started chipping away on the second verse of this tune. And really, what I was focusing on there is just refining my tracking process, my mental game for tracking. And I was working on counting everything in while listening really closely to the parts and really making sure that my alignment was good physically and the emotional content of the tune was there. And those four things are really the things that I'm seeking to integrate into one point of focus. So that's kind of my mission right now. I feel like if I can nail that, then my takes are going to be good. And I'll have really good, consistent results over time. Um, I always tell my students, the consistent process is what leads to consistent results. And sometimes you can't control factors that affect the results, but you can always control your process, your method. So, John Wooden defined success as you did the method as best as you possibly can. Other results are irrelevant. And I think that's a good definition of success to follow for me personally right now. I'm not saying that is the definition of success. I'm just trying it on, and I'm committing to it 100% to see what kind of results I can get with it. And so far, it's good. I did get some takes that I think were very good. I will listen back tomorrow. I'm not sure if any stood out above the others, but we'll just see, and it'll be a way for me to grow my approach, like I was talking about, over time. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with my progress so far. I'm going to take a break, have some food, and catch up with you guys in a little bit. All right, excellent session overall. Only slipped really like one place, and it was for a good reason, but that stuff needs to be not. I want that stuff to be non-negotiable going forward. So say more about that in a second. But anyway, since I got a late start on the day, I only really had like an hour for the late session because I've been experimenting with taking an hour and a half break, which is really nice. I'm using that break for productive things. I'm not just like watching whatever videos online. I'm like really using it to try to get more information from mentors. So I was watching this Gary Vee interview with Ray Dalio, who's basically runs the largest hedge fund in the world. And these guys are just really awesome entrepreneurs, and they are willing to share their principles of success with everyone, which is pretty unbelievable. So Gary was talking about something that's pretty typical for him, which is searching hashtags on Instagram or Twitter or something like that. And he talks about when he was building his business, if you don't have a lot of followers, you can create content and you can become part of the community. So what he would do is just search a bunch of hashtags related to his wine business back in the day when he was first getting into Twitter. And then he would just reply and leave like a helpful, valuable 2 cents on like whatever content he clicked on. And he would like absorb the content and really think about it, then add something awesome. And people saw that he was a cool contributor over time. And it just got me thinking, like, man, it's such a simple thing, but it's so useful and so freaking smart. And just based on these really simple but incredibly powerful principles of business that have, not changed in a very long time. So the particulars of them, the specifics of them have changed a lot, but that just gives us more leverage as people, and certainly as entrepreneurs. So I just searched live looping because that's something that I think I'm pretty knowledgeable about in the music world vis-a-vis like what other people are doing out there. Although things may have passed me by, I'm probably going to learn a lot by going through these hashtags. But there was a lot. There was a lot of stuff up there, and I already got some cool ideas and started watching people, and I can see there's a community of people out there doing it that's really awesome, and they're doing really cool stuff. So already it's exhilarating and fun to be part of that myself, to really just join the community of people who are out there doing what I'm doing. And that's the power of having a worldwide network, is even if only 1 out of 10,000 people are into what you're doing, that's a lot of people out of 7 billion or whatever we got going now. So just a really good tip. So then I actually answered an email from my teaching work, the job I'm leaving, and it is kind of in this funky transition phase where I do want my students to contact me and I do want to be there for them. But it's difficult when people email me or text me and say like, "Hey, I'm taking the test tomorrow," or like, "Hey, I've got this big meeting tomorrow. What should I do?" And it's like, "Oh, geez, like you haven't really given me very much time to think about that or reply to you." So, guys, if you have anyone who's helping you out, especially out of the goodness of their hearts, even if you're paying them, just like help them help you. You know what I'm saying? Just like give them some lead time. Give them at least 24 hours that they could reply to you and give you some helpful advice, okay? So that was a mistake. I just really want to help people, and I want to control that because that's an emotional thing, and that can really corrupt my plan for the day. And it's hard. It's hard to stick to the plan and not just give in to the feelings, and that's really what I want to work on right now. So that was a mistake, but a good learning experience, and I will grow from that because honestly, I probably could have gotten back to that person a couple hours later, and it would have been no big deal. So anyway, I got out of that zone, jumped into the production front, started listening to my demos for the new track, and realized there was some editing and some horn section stuff to do. So I started playing around with that, sketched out my ideas, and I'm starting to sketch out the horn parts right now. And I think now's a good time for me to dive to the next level with the Broadway Lights contact library, which I'm using for my horn samples, and start getting into some of the articulations like the doits and falls and slurs and things like that that I really want in my horn parts. And I didn't want to go that deep on it on the previous track because I already had so many setbacks, technical setbacks with that track. I wanted to just knock it out, keep it going, and I can always go back and edit the MIDI. That's kind of the beauty of that stuff, and change things up as my skills improve. So I think now's the time for me to kind of go to the next level of depth with knowledge there. So that's the whole session. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I got a lot of great momentum. I'm excited to tackle tomorrow, hit it hard, and keep moving forward. Appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. Hope you guys are out there grinding toward your goals, enjoying the process. That's what I'm out here doing. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for more.